I want to start up by just understanding what exactly is CORE.
What exactly is CORE? CORE is Carrie Osher Real Estate, C-O-R-E. I'm a founding member. The company is 9 years old, and our CEO is Sean Osher. And we just brought on Related. Related has just become our partner.
All right, and what kind of sales volume are we talking about? Billions, right?
Billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars of high-end residential real estate.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mickey, how did you get into the business?
I come from a family that was in the real estate business, so you might say that it was in my blood. And after some other pursuits, Tom and I both come from the world of show business, which
well, that's where I was going to go. That both of you have had a career in show business as singers, and then into real estate. But I know that you've described that real estate and show business, that there's a symbiotic relationship.
It's a very transferable skill set, and when you analyze the business of real estate, especially in a city like New York, where all eyes are on all transactions, there are many steps that we take that we've concluded are very much like producing a Broadway show. You have to have the right script, you have to have the right plot, the right setting, you have to have a good storyline, and you have to get the people in the door.
Right. Got to get people in the door, and that door can sometimes be, well, quite expensive, right, Tom?
Quite expensive.
Give me an idea of some of the properties that you're currently featuring and what makes them worth this kind of money. I think, for example, you've got a townhouse.
Yes, we have
15 million?
15, that one.
Or maybe that's sold already.
That's sold. That's sold. That one's sold, but we have one half of that price.
Half of
so
all right,
this is
$7.5.
So for $7.5 million, you can get a beautifully renovated townhouse on the Upper East Side. It's 146 East End Avenue. We're asking $7.495, and it's 3,000 square feet, meticulously renovated from top to bottom, new roof. It's a really special home.
What makes something worth that kind of money? I mean, is it a square footage calculation, or is it the amenities? What is it that makes it worth $7.5 million?
What makes it worth it is that somebody's willing to pay it.
Right. But that's your job. You got to find the right person. You got to find the right fit for this.
We're working on that right now, yes.
So how does someone qualify to do this? Because I looked at your background and say, neighborhood is important, price is important, amenities, but also that people all want a piece of New York.
Sure, people want a piece of New York, and it's very hard to distill all of the empirical data to figure out why things are worth what they are, because at the end of the day, as Tom pointed out, if somebody's willing to pay it, that's now what it's worth, because it's very hard to justify from the smaller apartments in the city that trade for over $1 million, and they may be 450 square feet, to some of the larger spaces which sell for over $100 million. The rest of the world looks at us shaking their heads that these people are crazy. Look how much I can get in Georgia. I could live on 300 acres in a 14-room mansion for $150,000.
Right, but at least right now I understand that Lady Gaga doesn't necessarily want to do that. I'm going to throw some celebrity names at you and just give me maybe, a sentence about what their real estate preferences are, because I know that you've done work for them.
Okay.
Lady Gaga is one of your clients.
It was during the wheelchair phase, and we had to make sure the elevators were large enough.
The wheelchair phase. All right, so that was a special requirement. What about Barry Manilow?
Barry Manilow is one of our favorite people. It's funny, when we introduced him a few years ago, he knew who we were because he's a fan of New York real estate, and he watches our show on HGTV Selling New York. So he was asking us stories about New York real estate, and when he came in to do his Broadway run for 3 months last year, he had to have a very specific, beautiful home, and we found it for him, and he is just the nicest man.
Mickey, did you sing for Joan Collins? I know that she's a client.
We did. We sang and played piano for Joan when we were marketing her apartment. We did a $1 million makeover, and we brought in a beautiful Steinway Grand that sat in the corner of the room, and we had an unveiling. But before that, we sat with Joan on the piano bench, played a few tunes, and it was really... It's a very special moment.
Well, you're both smiling, so that must mean that New York real estate is doing pretty well, right? Still 6% commission typically for
Happily,
sales?
yes.
Happily, there you go.
7% sometimes.
7%, really?
We're going to start a new trend.